Today, I'm exploring The X-Files, one of the longest running and most influential science fiction series in television history. I chose this show because it spans more than 2 decades, offering a perfect example of how TV evolves alongside technology, audience expectations, and cultural change. From its debut in 1993 to its revival in 2018, The X-Files reflects the way media adapts and the impact it has on the viewers who follow it. The X-Files was created by Chris Carter and premiered on Fox in September of 1993. At the time, Fox was still a new network trying to compete against giants like NBC and CBS. Carter was inspired by Cold War-era fears, rising fascination with UFOs, and earlier paranormal TV shows like Kolchak, The Night Stalker. He picked a darker, more mysterious FBI drama that blended government conspiracy, science fiction, horror, and detective storytelling. Fox took a chance on it, and that risk paid off almost immediately. Early episodes were low budget but atmospheric, and they introduced audiences to the 2 agents at the center of the show, Fox Mulder, the believer, and Dana Scully, the skeptic. Their partnership and the tension between belief and science became the heart of the series. The show quickly gained a cult following, and within a few seasons, it grew into a massive cultural phenomenon. Viewership skyrocketed, and The X-Files became Fox's highest-rated show throughout the late 90s. There are several major milestones in the show's development. It premiered in 1993, released its first feature film, Fight the Future, in 1998, and ended its original run in 2002 after 9 seasons. A second movie came in 2008, and then the show returned for revival seasons in 2016 and 2018. This long timeline makes The X-Files especially interesting to track, because across these years, the show didn't just continue, it adapted. Technological and cultural changes played a major role in shaping the series. The early 1990s, conspiracy culture was growing, the Cold War had just ended, and public distrust in the government was rising. These anxieties became central themes of the show. At the same time, CGI was limited, so The X-Files relied heavily on practical effects and creative lighting to build tension. And interestingly, the show's fandom was the first to spread online. X-Files used early internet forums to discuss theories, analyze episodes, and build a community long before modern social media existed. As the show moved into the late 90s and the early 2000s, its content and production values evolved. The storytelling became more complex and serialized. The conspiracy arc grew larger and special effects improved with new technology. However, when David Duchovny stepped back from his role as Mulder, the show introduced new lead agents, Doggett and Reyes. This shift, combined with changing audience tastes, led to a decline in ratings. By 2002, the show ended its original run. In 2008, Fox attempted to revive interest with the film The X-Files, I Want to Believe. But the movie didn't resonate with the audiences the way the show once had. By this point, viewers had shifted towards highly serialized, puzzle box sci-fi series like Lost, which were inspired by The X-Files, but reflected newer storytelling trends. Then, in 2016 and 2018, The X-Files returned for 2 revival seasons. These updates reflected a completely different cultural moment, one shaped by digital surveillance, political division, misinformation, and new forms of public distrust. The world had changed, and The X-Files changed with it. Episodes began addressing modern fears, and the show experimented with shorter seasons, more self-aware humor, and storytelling designed for audiences used to binge-watching. In the early 1990s, viewers watched weekly appointment television and formed one of the internet's first major fandoms. By the 2000s, many long-term fans stayed loyal, but younger audiences were drawn to newer sci-fi shows influenced by The X-Files, as well as brand new viewers who discovered the show through streaming platforms. This shift shows how audience engagement has transformed from passive weekly viewing to active online theorizing and binge-watching culture. The content of the show evolved a lot as well. The early seasons focused heavily on Monster of the Week episodes and the slow-building alien conspiracy storyline. As the show grew, it blended genres, adding emotional character arcs and even comedic episodes that became fan favorites. By the time of the revival, episodes addressed issues like mass surveillance, viral outbreaks, genetic engineering, and fake news, showing how the writers updated their stories for modern context. The themes of fear, truth, and mistrust stayed the same, but the specific form those fears took changed along with society. The cultural impact of The X-Files is hard to overstate. It paved the way for shows like Fringe, Supernatural, Stranger Things, and Lost. It helped popularize long-term conspiracy arcs and the believer versus skeptic dynamic. It also helped build modern internet fandom as we know it. Fans analyzed theories online, created fan fiction, and shared episode breakdowns long before that became a normal part of television culture. Overall, the evolution of The X-Files reveals how television adapts to changing technology, shifting audience expectations, and cultural anxieties. The show's content, production, and audience engagement all transformed across the decades, turning it into a cultural touchstone for both the 1990s and the modern digital age. Studying The X-Files shows us that media is never static. It evolves with society, shapes the stories we tell, and influences the way audiences interpret the world around them. And that is exactly why The X-Files remains so important, not just as a TV show, but as a reflection of how media and culture grow together.